Hey hi everyone, this is Sudhir Singh and welcome to my channel Mr. Redman. Today's class will be based on the non-performing asset NPA of the bank. In this class, I will describe about what is asset, what is liability, then what is NPA and what is SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, and what are the classification in the whole process of NPA. Then we will discuss about the asset reconstruction company structure, that is NARCL and IDRCL, and why it is required. So let's start the class. Before discussing what is non-performing asset or NPA, first we will discuss about what is asset and what is liability to bank. So first is asset. Asset means whatever the bank owns or the particular business owns. We called it as asset. So according to bank, first we will describe about what is the asset to bank. So we will take the example of loans. Loans are the asset to banks. Why? Suppose particular bank gives loans to different customers, so in that case they will generate income through the interest earned on these loans. So they are generating the income from that, so it is called asset or the asset is performing. Then we will discuss about the liabilities. So anything the bank owes to someone else, then it is called a liability. So in that case, we will take the example of the deposit of the customer. So any customer deposit in the bank to some amount. So in that case, the bank has to return that deposit with the interest. Whatever the interest accumulated after a particular time period, the bank has to give. So that is called the liability. Then we will discuss about the non-performing asset. Suppose bank given a loan of 1 lakh rupees to Rahul, and Rahul has to pay the EMI till 12th month, and the value of the each EMI is 10,000 rupees. Now Rahul has paid the EMI till 4th month only, and after that he has not paid any installment on 5th month, 6th month, and 7th month. So after not paying the installment, that is the consecutive 3 months, or after 90 days, that asset will be called as non-performing asset, and that asset will not perform any interest to the bank. So in that case, this is called as the NPA. Now in NPA we have different categories like SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2. When the installment are not paid till 30 days, it is categorized in SMA 0. From 31 to 60 days, it categorized in SMA 1, and from 61 to 90 days, it categorized in SMA 2. What the full form of SMA is special mention account. So after 90 days, if the installment is not paid, the asset will categorize as NPA or non-performing asset. Then from 91 days to till first year, it is categorized as substandard asset. And after 1 year until second year, it is categorized as doubtful asset. After the second year, the audit is performed on that particular asset, and one audit report will be given. If the money cannot be recovered of that particular NPA account, then we categorize it as lost asset. Now the NPA cases for different types of loan. So for loan or term loan, the NPA cases will be after 90 days, it is declared as NPA. For cash credit, overdraft and bill discounted amount, after 90 days, it is declared as NPA. But it is not in the case of the short duration crops and long duration crops loan to farmer. So first we will discuss about the short duration crops. Short duration crops are the crops which gets ready in less than 1 year. So we can take the example of those crops are like barley, cereals, millets. Those we can get in less than 1 year. So it is categorized in short duration crops. So in the case of NPA, if the interest amount is overdue for two crop season, then in that case it is declared as NPA. Now we will talk about the long duration crops. The long duration crops are crops which gets ready in 1 year or more than 1 year. So the example are coconut. Then in fruit we can take example as mango fruit. So those are long duration crops. So for long duration crops, if the interest amount is overdue for one crop season, we will be declaring that asset as NPA. Now we will discuss about the Sarfazi Act. So the full form of the Sarfazi is Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002. So what is Sarfazi Act? So basically the Sarfazi Act came into picture to allow the financial institution or bank to auction commercial or residential properties or mortgage given by customer to recover the NPA loans. So if any loan becomes non-performing asset, so in that case, the mortgage given by the customer on that loan, the bank has the right to sell off that particular mortgage using the Sarfazi Act 2002. So, but these selling of this property have some rules. So, according to Sarfazi Act, the bank have to issue the notice to borrower to discharge their liability within 60 days. So, if the borrower doesn't comply to the bank notice, so after 60 days, bank can sell off the mortgage by the customer or take over the management or inventory of the business. Under Sarfazi Act, some loans are not covered. The examples are loan with outstanding of up to rupees 1 lakh. Agricultural land cannot be sold under Sarfazi Act, and the amount due is less than 20%. That means in that loan, the 80% amount is already recovered. So that loans are not classified under Sarfazi Act. Now we will discuss about the Debt Recovery Tribunals DRTs and Debt Recovery Appellate Tribunal DRAT. There are total 39 DRTs and 5 DRAT. Those are established using the RDB Act, that is Recovery of Debt and Bankruptcy Act 1993. So what is the aim of the government to establish DRT and DRAT? So sometimes what happens is when the bank uses Sarfazi Act and tries to sell the mortgage property by the borrower, so in that case, borrower can appeal in the DRT against the auction or sale of the property and take a stay order. For the borrower, they introduce the DRT and DRAT if the borrower is not happy with the Sarfazi Act. So what a borrower can do, borrower can take stay order against the by putting securitization appeals essays in DRT. And if the borrower is not happy with the DRT verdict, he can appeal to DRAT. Now we will talk about the asset reconstruction company, that is NARCL. So NARCL. So if any case the loan becomes NPA and if that loan is of high value, so in that case NARCL used to take that loan and recovery of the high value of loan is done by NARCL. So in NARCL, PSB will maintain 51% of ownership minimum, and then other ownership will be maintained by public lenders. Now NARCL is also called as the bad bank. Now next is IDRCL, India Debt Resolution Company Limited. So IDRCL is basically a service company or operational entity which is used by the NARCL to perform some basic functions of NARCL, and it is there to assist NARCL. In NARCL, maximum 49% of stake is by PSB and other by private sector lenders. Now, the one question comes in mind is why is NARCL and IDRCL structure is needed when there is 28 existing ARCs available? So ARC is basically used for smaller value loans, but for higher value loans, we needed a structure of NARCL and IDRCL, which used to cover the loan, the NPA above 500 crore rupees. So NARCL and IDRCL structure is announced in Union Budget 21-22. So, what will be the NARCL strategy for the resolution of stressed asset? So, as I already told, NARCL is used for the stressed loan above 500 crore, and the total target of the NARCL IDRCL structure is rupees 2 lakh crore. But the target of 2 lakh crore is complete will be completed in phase manner. So first phase target is only 90,000 crore, and second phase target will be 1.1 lakh crore. So whenever the NARCL accepts the offer from PSB banks to take the NPA loan, then the IDRCL will be engaged for the management and value addition of those NPAs. Now, these high amount of loan uh, cannot be accepted by NARCL without the government securities. So here government guarantee is there for NPA. Now, what is government guarantee? So, whenever NARCL takes that high value of NPA loans, 15% cash will be given by NARCL to those bank, and 85% of money will be guaranteed by the government security receipt that we called as government SRs. So the central government guarantee in these NPAs by NARCL is rupees 30,600 crore, and the government guarantee will be valid for 5 years only. So NARCL purchase those NPA loans with 15% cash and 85% in security receipts, and the guarantee shall cover the shortfall amount between the face value of SR and the actual realization. So take the example as total loan NPA is 100 crore rupees of a particular PSB bank. So in that case, 15% cash. So 15 crore rupees NARCL will give to that particular bank, and 85% of security receipt NARCL will give to that particular bank. So now NARCL able to recover only 70 crore rupees from pending 85 crore rupees. So how much money will NARCL give to that bank? So that is SR value is 85 crore minus the actual value recovered 70 crore. So NARCL have to give 15 crore more rupees to that is 15 crore government guarantee to that particular bank. Because why? Because 15 crore is already given, 70 crore recovered means 85 crore given to PSB. Now 15 crore remaining, so government will give 15 crore to that particular bank. So that is the whole class of non-performing asset. If you have any doubt in that class, so you can ask me on Instagram, or you can ask me in the comment section of this video. I will reply on that, and about the PDF of this class I'll upload on my website. You can visit in the download section and download that particular file. And thank you for watching my video.